Kakashi was frequently haunted by nightmares that forced him to relive the tragic moment of Rin's death, a painful event that marked his memory like an open wound. The trauma was even more intense because it was he, albeit against his own will, who took his friend's life. Rin's death left a deep emotional scar in his mind, and Kakashi began to carry an incessant guilt, a burden that isolated him emotionally, distancing him from any attempts at help from his friends. With the end of the Third Ninja War, a peace treaty was signed, and the third Hokage decided to step down, assuming responsibility for the losses suffered by the Leaf Village. Minato was named the fourth Hokage, recognized for his decisive role in the village's victory during the Battle of Kanabi Bridge. For Kakashi, this appointment brought a glimmer of hope. He believed that under Minato's leadership, the tragedies that haunted him, like the deaths of Obito and Rin, would not repeat. In a gesture of respect and longing, Kakashi began to frequently visit the graves of his friends, paying homage to those he carried in his heart. However, the pain persisted. During his training with the Chidori, a dangerous and devastating technique, Kakashi continued to be haunted by Rin's death, a memory his wounded mind refused to let go. In one of these training sessions, his friend Guy appeared, informing him about a new mission related to the recently signed peace treaty, showing that the conflict was far from a true end. Kakashi's trauma was once again tested during this mission. When he was attacked by ninjas who rejected the treaty, he tried to use the Chidori, but was paralyzed by a psychological block caused by his own guilt, a hesitation that nearly cost him his life. Fortunately, Guy intervened in time, saving his friend.
Another one?
This isn't like you! Snap out of it and focus!
After the incident, Kakashi was hospitalized, deeply shaken both physically and mentally. During his recovery, Minato visited him and, recognizing Kakashi's innate potential, offered him a new and challenging task: joining the ANBU, the Leaf Village's elite special force. This new role would mark a darker phase in his life, where Kakashi would become Minato's right hand, entrusted with secret and dangerous missions. Over time, Kakashi began to adopt a colder and more resolute demeanor, using his pain as fuel to face any challenge. In one of these missions, he eliminated an imposter from the Stone Village without hesitation, earning respect and admiration among his teammates. A crucial moment in his journey was the mission to protect Kushina, Minato's wife, during her pregnancy. Kakashi successfully fulfilled the mission until Naruto's birth, showing his loyalty and competence as an ANBU. Despite his growing emotional detachment, Kakashi still found time to honor his lost friends. After the mission to protect Kushina, he visited Rin's grave, bringing flowers in memory of his friend and teammate. Even while carrying the scars of the past, Kakashi continued to fight, balancing the harsh responsibilities of a ninja with the silent pain he bore in his heart.
I ought to tell Obito too, so I'll be going now. Later, Rin.
Kakashi walked through the village alongside Guy, feeling an odd premonition. His experience as a ninja made him sensitive to subtle changes in the environment, and that sense that something ominous was about to happen kept him on high alert. Shortly after, the nine-tailed fox appeared, attacking and destroying Konoha with fury. The assault was devastating, claiming lives and plunging the village into chaos. This event became one of the most critical moments in Konoha's history, destabilizing its defense and leadership. During the attack, the third Hokage ordered that the younger ninjas, including Guy, be spared from direct combat. The priority was to protect the Will of Fire, ensuring the survival of young ninjas so they could defend the village in the future. It was then that Minato and his wife, Kushina, confronted the Kyuubi directly. In an intense battle, they both sacrificed their lives to protect their newborn son, Naruto. Minato sealed the Kyuubi inside Naruto, ensuring his survival but at the cost of their own lives. With Minato's death, Hiruzen resumed the title of Hokage at a time of extreme need. The village needed stability, and Hiruzen, with his vast experience, was determined to restore order to Konoha. However, Danzo took advantage of Kakashi's vulnerability, shaken by Minato's loss and the chaos surrounding him, to persuade him to work in secret. Promising guidance and a new path, Danzo exploited Kakashi's uncertainties to further his own agenda. Kakashi's first mission under Danzo's command involved espionage and betrayal. He was tasked with stealing a scroll that revealed the third Hokage's route to the daimyo's palace, showing just how far Danzo was willing to go to achieve his shadowy aims. After completing the mission, Kakashi was ambushed by a mysterious ANBU member, wielding the rare wood style. In the middle of the battle, Danzo interrupted the fight, revealing that the user of the wood style was, in fact, his subordinate. With the acquired information, Danzo orchestrated an ambush to eliminate Hiruzen during his journey to the palace, sending an ANBU unit, including the wood-style user, to execute the attack.
Enemy attack!
Wood-style jutsu!
However, the target of the ambush was not the real Hiruzen, but Kakashi in disguise. After the reveal, Kakashi once again faced the wood-style ninja and managed to defeat him. Although he recognized the threat the ninja posed, Kakashi chose to spare his life, reflecting his compassionate side that avoided killing when possible. Danzo, believing that Hiruzen had been eliminated, was surprised by the arrival of the Hokage, who was aware of his betrayal. Despite this, Hiruzen decided to forgive him, keeping him in the shadow position for the greater good of the village. This decision reflected the complex dynamic between the two leaders. While Hiruzen led openly, Danzo operated in the shadows, convinced that his actions were essential for Konoha's protection. After the confrontation, Hiruzen personally thanked Kakashi for saving his life and invited him to continue in the ANBU, this time under his direct command, far from Danzo's dark schemes. Kakashi accepted, beginning a new chapter in his life, now alongside the Hokage, committed to serving the village with honor. After the discovery of Orochimaru's forbidden experiments, the third Hokage was faced with the harsh reality that his former student had been conducting dark research on humans. Despite understanding the gravity of the situation, his emotional bond with Orochimaru held him back from taking immediate action, allowing the Sannin to escape. Shortly after, Kakashi encountered the legendary ninja outside the village. The battle between them was brief, but Orochimaru's superiority was evident. Kakashi was easily overpowered, and just as Orochimaru was about to kill him, a trap set by Hiruzen exploded within one of his snakes, severely injuring him. Even so, Kakashi was paralyzed, realizing the vast difference in their skills and unable to prevent Orochimaru's escape. After this initial failure, Hiruzen ordered the ANBU to pursue Orochimaru. During the chase, Kakashi was ambushed by the villain's experiments. Test subjects able to transform their bodies into smoke, making the confrontation difficult. Cornered, Kakashi was saved by Kinoue, a ninja who had been one of Orochimaru's test subjects. With the help of Kinoue and Yukimi, an ally, they managed to escape from these experiments. As Kinoue and Yukimi fled, Kakashi was confronted by the leader of the Iburi clan, whom he managed to defeat. Determined to capture Orochimaru, Kakashi planned to use Yukimi as bait, which created a conflict with Kinoue, who deeply cared about her safety. Fearing for Yukimi, Kinoue decided to escape with her, forcing Kakashi to pursue them. During the chase, Kakashi attempted to attack them with the Chidori, but Yukimi pushed Kinoue out of the way to protect him. In that moment, Kakashi saw Rin's reflection in Yukimi, causing him to halt. The trauma of Rin's death still consumed him, making him momentarily stop the pursuit. Shortly after, Kakashi and Kinoue briefly fought. Kakashi tried to make him understand the seriousness of the situation, while Kinoue, worried about Yukimi, refused to cooperate. Meanwhile, Yukimi fled to the cave where her clan was hiding, only to find everyone dead, victims of a massacre by Orochimaru, who sought to steal their ability to turn into smoke to aid his own escape from the Leaf Ninjas.
Do not waste any more of my time.
Yukimi!
Too bad!
At that moment, Orochimaru captured Yukimi, planning to use her ability to help him evade the Leaf Ninjas. Kakashi and Kinoue arrived just in time to rescue her, and Kakashi, determined not to retreat again, prepared to face Orochimaru with everything he had. However, Orochimaru, still injured from the earlier explosion, chose to avoid combat and fled once again, frustrating Kakashi and Kinoue. Although Yukimi was rescued, Orochimaru had already obtained what he needed, and Yukimi's body began to fade. Desperate to save her, Kino used his Mokutan ability, and with the help of the few Iburi clan survivors, managed to stabilize Yukimi. After the rescue, Kinoue and Kakashi said their goodbyes, each going their own way. 3 years after the previous events, Kakashi and Kinoue were assigned a mission to investigate one of Orochimaru's laboratories. Being a dangerous figure, Konoha was keen to understand more about his activities and secret experiments. During the mission, tension between Kakashi and Kinoue resurfaced when Danzo, still leading the Root Division, ordered Kinoue to kill Kakashi and steal his Sharingan. Obsessed with power and manipulation, Danzo saw the Sharingan as a valuable tool for his plans, and as a Root subordinate, Kinoue was forced to obey. Kinoue attacked Kakashi, determined to complete his mission, while Kakashi hesitated to fight seriously. To him, Kinoue was a fellow Konoha shinobi, and he had no desire to hurt him. During the confrontation, Kinoue provoked Kakashi by mentioning Rin, reminding him of the tragic event where he had killed his former teammate. The memory struck Kakashi deeply, as he still bore the guilt and pain of not being able to protect Rin. Kakashi then revealed to Kinoue that Rin's death had been a tragic accident, emphasizing the emotional burden he had been carrying since that day. Rather than kill Kinoue, before he could act, they were both attacked by one of Orochimaru's experimental creatures. Kakashi inhaled the poison, leaving him vulnerable, and Kinoue had a clear opportunity to complete the mission. Instead, Kinoue hesitated. He chose to save Kakashi, and upon returning to Root, lied to Danzo, claiming he had obtained the Sharingan. Danzo reprimanded Kinoue for failing to complete the mission, highlighting the organization's rigid
Hey, wait!
Found him! Over there!
During their escape, they were surrounded by Root ninjas under Danzo's command, but Hiruzen Sarutobi intervened personally, demanding Kinoue's release. Demonstrating his ultimate authority in Konoha, the Hokage ensured that, from then on, Kinoue would work directly under his command. Kino was integrated into Kakashi's ANBU team, receiving the codename Tenzu. As the team leader, Kakashi showed great skill in fostering trust and cooperation within the team, welcoming Tenzu despite the challenges and dark events that had previously involved him. Meanwhile, Guy, Kakashi's friend and eternal rival, began to notice that Kakashi was becoming distant. Concerned about Kakashi's emotional well-being and fearing he might be consumed by the darkness of the ANBU, Guy asked the Hokage for permission to join the organization, believing he could help his friend. However, Hiruzen declined the request, stating that Guy did not have the right profile for the ANBU. Unsatisfied, Guy went directly to Danzo and requested to join Root, but was rejected once more. Danzo claimed that Guy lacked the darkness needed to be a member, reinforcing the shadowy nature of the organization and the distorted values Danzo instilled in his subordinates. At a young age, Itachi was invited to join the ANBU due to his exceptional talent, displaying skills that impressed even elite shinobi like Kakashi by the age of 11. Soon after, Kakashi, Itachi, and Guy were assigned to a joint mission to oversee an information exchange with the Land of Forests. Always energetic and a contrast to the ANBU's shadowy methods, Guy led the surveillance operation. However, during the mission, the enemies betrayed them and attempted to assassinate Guy. Demonstrating his strength, Guy quickly defended the team by opening the fifth gate, defeating the adversaries.
Retreat! Retreat!
Following this, Kakashi and Itachi eliminated the unconscious enemies with cold efficiency, fulfilling their mission in the ruthless manner expected of ANBU operatives. This shocked Guy, who had never before witnessed such calculated violence. This experience became a turning point for him, making him realize why he could never truly be part of such an organization. Deeply concerned about the impact these missions were having on Kakashi, Guy spoke directly to the Hokage, requesting Kakashi's removal from the ANBU. Guy feared that the dark nature and brutal tasks of the ANBU were eroding his friend's spirit. Meanwhile, Kakashi and Itachi were assigned to surveil the Uchiha clan, who were under suspicion following the Nine Tails attack on the village. Rumors of potential betrayal by the Uchiha began circulating, heightening distrust within the village. Tensions escalated rapidly, leading the Uchiha to plot a coup against Konoha. Torn between loyalty to his clan and his duty to the village, Itachi found himself in a painful dilemma. Danzo manipulated the situation by assigning Itachi the grim task of eliminating his own clan to prevent civil war. Devastated by his impossible choice, Itachi resolved to protect Konoha by sacrificing his family. After the massacre, INBU and village leaders arrived to find the bodies scattered, with Sasuke as the only survivor. Danzo was also present, revealing the truth of Itachi's actions to the ANBU members. Kakashi refused to believe Itachi had brutally killed his own clan. The area was then cleared, and Itachi, still wearing his ANBU mask, appeared unexpectedly to confront Danzo, warning him that if anything happened to Sasuke, he would expose Konoha's secrets to other nations.
If you so much as touch Sasuke, I'll pass on classified village intel to every enemy nation.
Itachi.
Later, in a private meeting with the Hokage, Itachi asked Hiruzen to protect Sasuke. Hiruzen promised to honor this request, understanding the burden Itachi now carried after the clan massacre. During their conversation, Hiruzen expressed his regret for not being able to save the Uchiha, and sorrow for the burden Itachi would now bear. Finally, after nearly a decade of service, the Hokage called Kakashi back, troubled by the toll that Anbu missions had taken on him, and fearing that he was losing himself in the shadows of the organization. Hiruzen ordered Kakashi to leave the Anbu, hoping this change would restore his inner peace and alleviate the emotional weight he bore. Obeying the Hokage's command, Kakashi left the Anbu, beginning a new chapter in his life in pursuit of redemption and a peace that always seemed just out of reach.